One shot, one opportunity. Seize everything you ever wanted. One moment. Did you capture? Just let it slip.
Minis Regional, please welcome National Coordinator, Dritan Hodo!
It's truly a privilege to be on here sharing, representing Team Philadelphia. Honestly, I'm backstage. I'm listening to Mark, right, Tom? I'm listening to Brett, Steve. I'm like, oh my God, I better not drop this baton. Like, in this relay, they were absolutely incredible. My segment, I should say our segment today is going to be the ABC pattern, driving depth for leaders. I say our because I got a special surprise for you guys. You ain't even ready for it. I got a special surprise for you guys. And honestly, I'm just the frame, but this guy's gonna show you exactly how to drive depth for leaders because he's done an incredible job on our team and it's taken our team to exponential growth. So just bear with me and hold tight, all right? Fair enough? All right, so the ABC pattern, guys, take a note if you want. You don't have to. This, in the basic 5, is what's gonna give you your residual income. You can go from 1 person to 1,000 with the ABC pattern if you master this. I know we look at it on stage when JR does it, and it's like, oh, I got a person, and then you hit EC in a month, and then you find a professional quarter in like a quarter, and you're like, I don't know about you. I look to my left and right, and I'm like, oh my God, am I that bad? You know? Anyone else feel that way? It doesn't unfold perfectly, right? It's just a system. It's a methodology. It's a pattern that allows you to make daily, monthly, weekly progress in order to allow it to unfold. So we're going to get into that. Sound good? All right, so that's me. You can read it. My name's Dritan. I'm your friend. Don't let my passion scare you. I foam at the mouth sometimes. I get excited about this business. Why? My parents are Albanian immigrants. They uprooted everything, made all the sacrifices in the world for me, their only child, when I was, just a baby. Went to school, did all the 45-year plan, good old school thing, right? Got a good job, but my job didn't take care of them. It didn't take care of me good enough. Thank God the ABC pattern from 1992 led to me in 2011 because the blessing of this company, the blessing of this business retired them at 25 years old. Or I was 25 when it retired them, and it retired me at 26-year-old. Thank you, Market America. Hey, it ain't about me, though. People still ask me, why you still do this, right? The only reason I still do this is I owe it to incredible people that helped me do that to get to their freedom. So I appreciate all you guys over there. Thank you, my teammates. All right, so we're going to get into it. All right, we need some definitions for this training. First are results. Results, they're new UFOs getting started in the business. Customers getting acquired. Getting your team to events. That's it. Everything else is noise. A leader, what is a Market America leader? It's someone that gets results. Driving the ABC pattern, being a driver, it's a systematic way to sort through your organization, build deep to find the Market America leader in your organization. All right, those are the definitions that we're going to need for this training. First, we got to work on becoming the real leader. Very important. When I first started the business, I was like, everyone was having success around me. There were people jumping different levels. There were people, getting recognition. I'm like, what is going on with me? But the first thing that we need to understand is do not lie to yourself about yourself or others. If you know that you haven't done what you need to do not lie to yourself. If you know there is more inside you to do not lie to yourself. Ask yourself the questions when you're thinking about yourself becoming that leader. Are you 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Are you both in? Are you playing this game at an amateur level or professional level? Because if you're expecting a 6-figure income, you best believe your butt that you need to become that professional and become that leader. You ain't gonna make that type of income at an amateur level. Ask yourself, are you worried about recognition? Is your ego in the way? You worried about titles, pin level, stage time, and all this crap? Or are you worried about your production, your team, and what they're doing, your 1099s? Is that where your focus is? Right? Focus. Next thing, you have to be obsessed. I know the new people. Who's new in the crowd? Show of hands. Well, appreciate you guys. Give these guys a round of applause, right? I know you guys, they're probably thinking, who's this psycho they put up on stage? This is probably the last time you guys will ever see me, right? You need to be obsessed. I didn't have a lot of skills, but I was absolutely obsessed with my goals, guys. Unwaveringly obsessed. The reason why I was so obsessed is because when your obsessions become your possessions. You got to understand that, right? It's like, because your focus is always competing with distractions. And distractions are just an easy way to eliminate and get comfortable of what you know you got to do. What are some distractions? Easy, life. Life is just one big distraction. You worry about politics. You worry about the game, reality TV. You got to worry about winning. That's your focus, winning, getting overly obsessed with your life winning, and loving the grind. You got to be absolutely loving the idea and embrace the fact of the grind and love the suffering and love the pain. Why? Because the price, listen, the price that you're going to pay right now is significantly less than the price you're going to pay if you don't achieve your dream. You got to become that leader, man. I'm telling you, you got to become that leader inside. Too many people, including me, I started the business, I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to find my Al. I want to find my Harris. I want to find my Winklers. I got to find my Don Martins in the business. Forget that. I'm going to be the JR. When you adopt that mentality, guess what starts? You attract your vibe, you attract your tribe. They come into your life. You feel me? Right? If you haven't done what you know that you can do, it's okay. It's fine. Forgive yourself. It's not a big deal. Let it go. The yesterday ended last night. It's fine. Maybe you haven't gotten your 10 customers. You haven't sponsored. Maybe you never drove in a pattern, right? You think I'm a little nutty. It's okay. It's not a problem. But I'm telling you, once you develop this, the magic starts happening when you make a decision. And once you make that decision, then your role starts to switch and finding leaders, not necessarily creating them. So many times in the business, we just take actions just to take action because our senior leaders told us to. Like, right? It's like, oh, we just do meetings. We do meetings, we do wellness events to get customers, to recruit, with just the only purpose of being able to do that. But you need to have an awareness, an intention for every single day of whatever you're doing to identify that next leader, that next influencer that you're going to have the pleasure of working with in the business to blow this out, right? And I'll give you an example of how this works.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make?
Go!
The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
Right? Forget the cycle. I mean, we are trying to cycle every week too, right? So, who here didn't see the bear the first time? Raise your hand. Right? That's like us. We do meetings after meetings after meetings with the intention to acquire customers and the intention to expand the business. But if you're not looking for your leader every single day, then you're the person looking at the passes and you forget about the moonwalking bear. There's so many dots in the business. So many dots. Forget the dot. Oh, I had a 2-on-1 and they sent me the death text. That's a dot. Or, oh, I sold a ticket and they didn't come to local. Meanwhile, you have a team of people at local. Oh, that's a dot. right? Or the negative Nancy in the room at your weekly meetings. My grandmother's cousin's dog sitter's babysitter did Market America in 1991, and they didn't make any money, right? And you're like, well, I think it started in 92. No, it was 91, and they didn't, right? This happens all the time because it steals our focus. All I'm saying to you guys is like, let's stop forget about the passes. Let's find our moonwalking bear out there. Sound fair enough? All right? Control what you can control. I get very emotional. You can tell. I put my heart into this thing because I know what it's done for me and I know what it can do for you guys, for everyone out here. Everyone needs this business. When we agree with that, everyone does, right? So every single time, you only can control what you can control. Put when someone comes into business, all I could do is kind of have a leader's names and see if they make it. I'll give you guys an example, right? Can you control piquing interest? Yes or no? That was really unanimous. Can you control piquing interest? Yes or no? Guys, this is horrible. One more time for the big D, right? Come on. Can you control if you pique someone's interest in the business? Yes. Can you control after you pique their interest, you show them the business, if you get to the next exposure or the second look? Some of you guys say, yeah. What do you mean? What's your approach? I said the meeting's at 7:30. You better show up, right? Can you control if they start, yes or no? Can you control if they execute the UFO program after they start? Can you control if after you sell a ticket, they actually show up? Can you control if they jump pin levels? Can you control if they duplicate you? So what's the only thing that we can control? Piquing interest. So why do we get so emotional about everything that we cannot control? Right? Is that true? So, right? So, if like I got someone that starts the business or something in my mental checklist or even physical, it's like, hey, I got your name. It's like, did you make it down the list? Right? I'm hoping I can go down and check. Boom, leader, baby, let's roll. But if you can't make it, what can I do? I can't do anything. Some people won't make it down the list. Find someone who can. Because working with the wrong person is kind of like this. Don't you feel for this dude? It looks like, no, Big Al's cuter than this, right? I heard you, Tom. They're boys, right? Working the wrong, don't you feel for this guy, right? And here's the thing, that's kind of like us. It's like, okay, start the business. All right, they started. Let's get your list together. Do it 2 on 1. Come on. And it's like, as we're asking it, they pull. So what do, Ben? You pull harder. And so what does it do? It pulls back harder. So you pull harder. And it pulls harder. And when you're tired, you don't know why. Right? Working with the right people is like this. Hey, I don't know what you want to do. 2 on 1s, make a list, product event. That's what you want to do? Nah, what happens when you find an eagle? What happens when you find a group of eagles? Woo! When they spread their wings, right? And they spread them farther than you could ever spread yours, and they start soaring because they got goals and dreams with or without you that they're going to make. What's it like working like with them? Imagine that. Instead of dragging someone up Success Mountain, your role is, hey, I'm going to catch the person that's sprinting up it, right? Imagine an Amber Yang starting in your business. You ever see her collection of high heels? Don't let that fool you. She's quick. She's like a little Chinese Usain Bolt. She's real quick. Right? When she started, she got it. It was a wrap. It was over. There was no catching Amber, right? Instead of, running with the mules, right? It's like working with a bunch of whining babies, crying, vampires sucking the marrow out of your bones. You guys know what I'm saying? You ask them to do something, it's like, you guys, who can relate with that? We all can relate with that, right? Here's the attitude of a driver, because we all got to become drivers to build this organization, right? I'm going to work with people that deserve my time. I'm not going to work where I'm needed. I'm going to work with people that deserve my time. I'm not here to just build a surface level check. Sorry, I don't care about profit. I care about generational wealth, right? It's not about a $300 check fishies month after month. It's about harpooning a $3,600 whale, right? That's what it's about, building new relationships. Every single day, you need to understand anyone that comes in your organization, you have to treat them personally sponsored. Treat them personally sponsored. Identify the most excited person in your organization. How do you know if they're excited? They say, hey, I'm excited, right? They actually do something with it. Work with your leaders. Get them paid. Create their inner circle. Your responsibility is to work with people that actually want it and work with their leaderships to get them paid. Create revenue for the people that you see want it the most, right? So basically, as a driver, you need to ask yourself, too. It's like, I need to be excellent in execution. When someone's like, oh, well, you're so busy. Why are you not helping me? It's like, no, I'm efficient. I'm efficient because I'm working with the people that want it. I'm going to drive a result. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to work well. I'm going to blow this thing out, right? Always have long-term thinking. Some people, they might develop in a day. Some people might develop in 3 years. Some people might develop in 10 years. It's okay. Whatever it takes, long-term thinking, because that's what this business is. It's a long-term business, isn't it? Right? Have urgency, though. You need to have urgency. Oh, well, I booked the follow-up in like 2 weeks. What? You think your team has time? You think they're gonna last? I'm gonna just say it how it is. People think about quitting every single day. That's just a fact. And if you don't move fast and get them results, sorry, you're not gonna build enough momentum to blow it out. You gotta move with a pep in your step. You gotta get everything done. Move, so we can blow this thing out. Because your goals and dreams can't wait. You gotta go. Right? Duplicate, don't complicate, don't reinvent the wheel. JR already did it. Follow the proven plan. Don't let your ego get in the way of your paycheck. What do I mean by that? I see people, they get a leader, right? And what they do, instead, they call it like empowering, but instead of empowering or delegating, it's basically a way of dumping. That's what they do. I'm dumping it. No, you're not empowering, you're dumping. Don't do that. If you have a leader, praise God. Right? And you're like, oh my God, yes, let's double down our efforts. And you get that third leader, let's triple our efforts. You get that fourth leader, let's quadruple our efforts. Boom! You got an organization that exploded. $5,000 a week, you're free. You got to look for the whip list. Whip list, work ethic, hunger, integrity, personal power. If you're recruiting, your organization is recruiting the opposite of the whip list, tip, just stop it. Whip list, work ethic. I don't mean to call any people out, but I work with a young lady. You know, she has over 80 to 100 employees working 80 hours a week. She just won MVP of the region here, a challenge, right? Building this business so strong, you know, does 5-6 personal appointments a week, does her team's appointments and funnels, follows up strong and building it and exploding it. Hunger, we got people that travel 1.5 hours, 4 to 5 times a week just to be with our team in Philadelphia. Most of them sometimes can't even scrounge up pennies to buy tickets, but they know that they're hungry and they say, Mom, Dad, brother, sister, you know, loved one, I'm going to be away because I'm going to work on a project right now that's going to set us free. That's hunger. Integrity, they say they're going to do something, guess what they do? They actually do it. Would you look at that? Integrity, personal power. They invite, someone shows up. Surprise! That's personal power, right? When you find someone on the whip list, you get busy. Make them a product of the product. Make them a product of the product. Get their 10 exposures. Set up a wellness event. Repeat until you find the leader under them. And guess what you do? You do the same thing over and over again, right? What do you need as tools for the ABC pattern? An effective presentation. Guys, your presentation can't be boring. You got to have an exciting presentation, but for you to have an exciting presentation, you got to what? You got to know your presentation. You got to know it. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I can't sugarcoat this. If you have to remember your presentation is horrible. If you have to remember your presentation and give it, it's already terrible. You know what it's called, guys? Practice. When no one's looking, just practice the dang thing. It's 5 steps. What's wrong with us, man? Set up 2-on-1s, do HBPs, do events. Always looking up for your moonwalking bear, right? You got to look for your leader. You got to identify it. Keep it simple. Pay attention to the attitudes. Is everything a fight, or are they actually excited with what they're doing? The easiest and best way to do this, tickets. Build local to local to local, region to region to region, major events. It's going to be such a fertile ground for new leaders to raise their hand and say, I'm identifying myself as the bear. Hey, can we start making this thing happen? Absolutely. Big D will be right there with you, right? Let's make it happen, right? So, that was a little sneak peek, right? What do we go over? What do we go over? We got our tools. We know our intention is to identify leaders and influencers, right? We know the attitude that we have to have and what we're looking for. Now we need what? The mechanics. And I can't think of a better guy, a close friend, and a partner to introduce. He's at $4,500 a month. Just bear with me. $4,500 a month with the business. Been at it and has built an incredible team over the past couple years. But that's not why I admire him. He saw the business in a dorm room. He saw the business in a dorm room in 2012. Right? I remember with his friend, and I was wearing a beater and sweatpants, and he bought a ticket to Miami. He came to Miami, but this is how bad we were. We had guests that were named Fire and E-Cut. We had guests playing Ding Dong Ditch in the hotels. I know, Tom. Right? He's like, yo, I'm hungry. We're like, you don't got any money, but here's the sandwich. He opens up the sandwich. He's like, no, it's just bread. Yeah, dog, it's called a bread sandwich, bro. What you complaining about? He was like, I'm not doing it. 2 years later, gets introduced by his brother, started the business, but it wasn't easy for him. Didn't have any corporate experience at the time, was still studying, got into med school. No sales experience training or anything like that, but he said, I'll do it. He uprooted out of nowhere into Philadelphia. Literally coming out from pretty comfortable living into what we call Freedom Headquarters. And for you guys that don't know, Freedom Headquarters was a crazy house. It was basically open door policy. The whole team could be in and out. Anytime that they wanted, trainings went there, follow-ups went there, product events went there. But you know what? From that, it absolutely exploded. But you can imagine the state that the house was in. Horrible. Thank God that someone didn't come in and actually give a test or whatever you do with houses, right? They would shut that thing down real quick. But it wasn't easy. He kept working at the business. As he started working, there came a breaking point in 2016. I remember having this conversation, Ocean City, 2016. He's like, hey man, I don't know if this is working out, this or that. Completely, he said, I looked people in the eye that I said I was going to make this happen. He said, I'm going to leave medical school. Thank you, sir. Sorry, I get excited. He left medical school. He said, I'm going to build this business because I looked people in the eye that I said I'm going to be there with every step of the way. I'm not going to turn my back on that. That's the type of character this guy has. From that point, when he went all in, to this point, he absolutely exploded, has a team, that he personally built up to 50, 60, 70, 80 people that are here. Professional coordinator, it's my honor. Please give a warm welcome to Richie D. Richie Duong.
Dritan for asking me to join you on stage. Who's enjoying this segment so far? Right? I'm back here, I'm getting fired up just listening. I still have those scars from Freedom Headquarters. You want to hear my first weight loss testimonial? I went to that first event. I said, Dritan, when are we going to eat, man? I've been down here for 3 or 4 days. He said, eat? We're building residual income. So, but we eat now, right? From time to time, right? But here's my background. Forward here. Here's me, right? And honestly, guys, from Delaware, Dritan said it. Yeah, we got some Delaware in the house. Got into medical school. Kind of realized quickly, though, I didn't want to work 80+ hours a week. Right? Doctors work long hours. Maybe you make a lot of money, but I'm selling my time at a higher price tag. Started this business 5.5 years ago. Haven't turned back since. Built it up. And was able to walk away from jobs. I was working full-time as a server. Also working full-time at a medical office at the time. Got out of that and been able to be a full-time entrepreneur since. So, corporate America has been a huge blessing in my life. I'm so glad that you're out here today to look at this business. But I'm going to go into those mechanics that Dritan said, right? And these are the 3 laws of building. right? And what are they? They're inherent to building depth, ABC pattern, building depth within your business. Or Dritan would say, just shut up and do it, right? Or you'd probably say, shut the bleep up and do it, right? If you know Dritan the way we know him, we love him. All right, 3 laws. Law number 1, a partner is not in the business until they have sponsored. So often we sponsor someone in the business, we think, man, touchdown, right? No, that's when the work really starts. You gotta dig in, and you have to get them a personal sponsorship. Why? Because they're gonna look at you and say, man, I think I can do it. That's where belief really sets in. Number 2, 4 generations of depth within your business equals a leg. Right? What does that mean? It maybe means Dritan sponsors me. I sponsor Brett, that's 2. Brett sponsors Mark, that's 3. And then Mark sponsors my brother Kevin, that would be 4 generations. Right? It's not one person sponsoring all 4, it's building true ABC pattern and depth within your organization. And the magical thing happens with that. Right? When you have 4 generations of depth, that's when one leader is going to emerge. Right? That MA leader, someone's going to step up and say, hey man, let's grind this out together. They're going to match your commitment. You're going to have a grind partner. All right? And number 3, 8 generations of depth equals a team. So you're going to take that one grind partner, you're going to say, man, let's recreate this, and you're going to get that same process to 8 generations of depth. You know, so often people come to me and say, man, Rich, like my team's not working together. Like my team's all over the place, right? But you got to ask yourself, are there 8 generations of depth? Are you building depth and ABC pattern within your business? And if not, I'll be honest with you, you don't have a team yet. You got to keep grinding it out, right? This takes us to the next step, standard method of operation, right? And honestly, guys, I wish I had something more sexy to put up here for you. I wish I had more bells and whistles, but this is it, man. This is the main thing. In our business, you got to master the mundane. You know, when you have a brand new partner at that generation of depth, you're going to take that partner and teach them to be a product of the product. You're going to teach them how to love the product, how to use the product. What are the best regimens to lose weight, fix your skin, you know, fix your hair, right? Shower maybe every single day now, right? You should have seen the pictures back in the day. Me and Dritan, we don't look like we do now back then. But you got to teach them how to use the product and learn how to use and share it. You're going to take that partner, create a names list. They need to get possibilities on a piece of paper so they can now have people expose the business to. Host a wellness event. That's huge. You got to get into their house and expose the product. That's going to be the biggest story that they're going to develop within the first month of their business. How much money did they make? Who's ever been asked that question? Man, how much money did you make so far? Right? That's going to be your answer. How much did you make in retail sales at that product event? And then number 4, 10 exposures. You got to get busy, start show the plan, show the plan, show the plan. You got to get 10 sets of eyes on the business, really grinding away. Hey guys, I'm going to start with this slide here, right? Because my biggest complaint sometimes is thinking, man, like, Dritan said it, you see so much success on stage. Who goes to Miami, you see all the $1 million earners, you see all the power profiles, all the success, and you just think, damn, like, why can't I do that? You struggle sometimes. You think, man, is it as hard it is for me as it is for everyone else? And it all felt that way too, right? Am I the only one? Right? This is what it really looks like. You may get recognized for your success here on stage, but all the hard work, all the persistence, the late nights, man, Freedom Headquarters, that takes me back. We ate cold pizza like every single day. Our roommate used to work at Zesto's Pizza, right? Late nights, I remember one time driving back from a training in Philly with my brother Kev, 2 a.m. in the morning, going down 76, looking out, and he would always say the same thing to me. He said, Rich, look out. Do you see anyone out on the road right now? 2:30 in the morning. I'd say, no one's out, man. I'm tired too. He said, exactly. People are not doing what we're doing right now, and they're not going to live the lifestyle we're going to live in the future. Sacrifices. Who made a sacrifice to be down here this weekend? Anyone? Right? Who has family they love that they can be with? Right? Cinco de Mayo. Who could be doing that, right? Honestly, guys, stuff that. Sacrifices, it's going to be so much more worth it. Put the work into discipline in now to have everything you want in the future. And criticisms, if you don't want to have an average, mediocre life, don't take the opinions of average, mediocre people. Alright guys, well, I'm going to go into the next set. I want to show you guys exactly what this looked like for me. And I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer here. It's not going to look pretty. Right? So if you're ready, say we're ready. I'm going to show you how this is going to work out. This was my first, so this is one organization within my business, and And I'm going to explain to you guys really how this broke down. It took me 1.5 years to get 15 partners within my business on one leg, right? 1.5 years. And from this, I personally sponsored one person. And from that one person, we had one lineage of 4 generations and one lineage of 2. Crazy thing is that I discovered there's this app, right? As you know, we stem from Flushing, New York, a lot of our Chinese partners, right? There's this app called WeChat. You ever heard of it? WeChat, right? And when I discovered that, I remember I was on there and I just spammed her and said, hi, down puss, right? And I found one person, and this girl actually sold her a bottle of fish oil. Lo and behold, she ended up starting the business. And from her, I think she sponsored about 8 people. She sponsored that number 2 girl right there. Number 2, it's funny thing, she actually booked an appointment with her. She kept on saying her name was Chan. And when I got there, she grew up and saying her name's Tina. So it turned out she actually booked the appointment with the wrong person, but her English wasn't good enough to know. Right? So again, it's not always pretty, right? But we introduced all these partners. You want to know the secret though? All of these people quit. All 15 of them. And I want to let you guys know is that you win and you learn. From this, I learned. Dritan said it beautifully. If you don't know what to look for, you'll never find it. I was focused on the passes. I wasn't looking at the moonwalking bear, right? I didn't know to look for leadership. I didn't know to look for that leader to grind with. Guys, it's not BV plus people with residual income. It's leader plus leader. You guys get that? It's leader plus leader. If you're not fostering and developing leadership within your business, it's not going to happen, right? You got to start with the end in mind. You got to know exactly what you're looking for. That was the first thing that changed my business completely. So I said, all right, I'm going to get back on the tricycle here, right? You got it, brother, keep going. Here's the next 16 people within my business. From this, I went into recruiting mode, man. I personally sponsored 5 of these people. I identified 10 of the partners in depth. My deepest lineage was 3. Right? And crazy story here is that I actually worked with my older brother here, right? Who has feeling they love, but they don't know if they want to work with them, right? Guys, maybe you gotta understand that wit is important, that work ethic, the hunger, integrity, personal power. I mean, I was working with literally corporate lawyers in this scenario, even engineers. Leave your resume at home, man. I don't even want to see it. I want to know, are you hungry and do you want to build this business? Are you willing to grind it out with us? Right? Today instead, I think it's about number 26 here, right? Number 26. I got so, dude, I was tired of it. I was going to meet anyone and get anyone to run this with me that I could. I actually met a kid on the street, right? I handed him a weight shot. I said, dude, you look real sharp. Would you mind trying out this product for me? I want to get some good feedback. I'm surveying it. Called him that night and said, you know what? Would you mind taking a look at my business? Again, you just look really business-minded. He took a look at the business, right? This kid was kind of quiet, so he wanted to let me know the following day that he didn't want to actually run it with me, so he brought his younger sister with him to tell me. And she came in looking like a dead rat was in her mouth. But lo and behold, they both got in, right? This funny thing too, I actually we were working out together. He was my gym buddy at some point. And I remember going to the gym with him. We're in the locker room, ready to change to get, start working out. He wouldn't take his shirt off though. I thought that was kind of weird. And I was like, dude, you okay? Like, we're gonna work out. He's like, no, I'm good. And I said, no, seriously, let's go. Finally changed. He didn't want to show me the big Superman tattoo he had on his chest. So you need some strange people running this business, right? Here's another secret. All of them quit. Every single one of them. I didn't identify the MA leader, right? Again, I wasn't looking for that work ethic, that hunger, that, the personal power, right? Integrity. So, guys, you gotta know what you gotta look for, but the one thing I didn't stop was I didn't stop sponsoring at the bottom and keep driving debt. Keep driving debt, keep driving debt. Why? Because something happens, right? Something magical happens if you keep sponsoring, right? Dritan said it, you shed that tear, you thank God, because the leader steps up, right? This next girl popped up. Where's Amy Ho at? Right? Executive coordinator out of Atlantic City. We used to go to church together back in the day, right? And I called her up. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. 7 years. She was probably thinking, why the hell is this kid calling me? I said, hey, you know what? Are you in New Jersey? I'm expanding business in New Jersey. She said, yeah, I'm in New Jersey. I said, how far are you from Monmouth County? She said, well, I'm in Atlantic City. I said, that's pretty close, right? It's about 2 hours away up the expressway. do? What do I have to lose? Drove down Black Horse Pike, got to Atlantic City, showed her the business, right? She ended up being the right one, started the business. But we didn't waste any time. Again, we sat down, product of the product, names list, wellness event, 10 exposures. And then, you know what happens? People started joining our movement here. And where we got Bruno and Mo, where are you at, guys? This is our training we used to host down in Margate, New Jersey, right? We teach the tradition. Show the plan on the whiteboard, man. Show them these Dritan's right. You gotta know that presentation inside and out. Flip charts are great, guys, but knowing your plan in your head is even better, right? But we learn how to show the plan, and when you get 2 people on board with you, and you got a tribe going, beautiful things happen. We got busy showing plans. I mean, people got on board. People started the business. You know, more 2-on-1s, more sponsorships, more wellness events. The team grew bigger and bigger. This is a home event we hosted a couple weeks ago. Over 75 people were in the house. Even bigger, right? And you know what's even cooler when you see this happen? When you see your team grow? Because who gets really excited when more and more people show up? Right? You build the team up first, and then what happens? Pin levels happen, baby. From this, that one sponsorship, I only sponsored one person in the Atlantic City area. And to this date, over 5 executive coordinators have popped up, right? 2 coordinators on top of that. And that all happened within 1.5 years. And taking the leg from virtually no volume to qualifying over 5,000 BV in a week, right? Know that you guys can do it too. But I want to leave you with this, is that you're 3 feet from goal. Right? You're 3 feet from goal. It's so easy to want to give up, man. I was like 3.5 years into the business thinking, man, am I losing my damn mind? Who's ever felt that way, right? I'm losing my mind. But I want to let you guys know is that, you know, I'm fortunate enough. I think honestly have the best sponsor within this business. You know? JR and Lauren in the house. Now the pressure's on.
Alright, we gotta make it good. We gotta make it good.
Right. We're 3 feet from gold, guys, because I honestly want to say that I think I have the best sponsor in this business. Not because he shows the best plan, or not because I think he's the best at recruiting or selling product, but there's been times Dritan was right, man. I remember sitting outside of this arena thinking, man, am I losing my mind? Can I keep doing this business? You know, my brother Kev, supervising coordinator today, you know, he said, dude, we're not really letting anyone steal our dream. You know, we're going to keep pushing on. Don't give up. You can fail 100, 1,000 times, but you only need to succeed 1 time in this business, have everything you want back in your life. So guys, are we ready to take some of these tips here and implement it into our business? Are we ready? You think we're ready, right?
Here we go, ready? The best part about this is like now we got the mechanics, we got the leaders pop up. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can team build, right? That's going to be the next, like the best part is going to be next. But before that, here's the thing. You got to know that you're great. You got to have unwavering belief. You got to know that you're a champion. Listen, yes, this is the rah-rah. I come here for the rah-rah. I'm 10 years deep. Between both of us, we're over 10 years deep. We probably made over 1 million commissions together, right, in the business. We still need to recalibrate in the marketplace here so that we can go out and do it again and again and again. So I invite you guys to stand up and join us. This is called an incantation.
Get on your feet.
Get on your feet.
Get on your feet.
Get on your feet. Join us. It's rah-rah. Let's get fired up. Let's know that we're great. Let's know that we're champions. When I say, y'all ready? You say we ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I will lead.
I will believe, not doubt.
I will create, not destroy.
I will defy the odds.
I'm a force that demands success.
I will work until I achieve my dreams.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
Step up.
I'm a champion.
I'm a champion.
I'm a champion.
I'm a champion.
Let's go. Let's get it, baby.